Anyway, we're still beginning. Hindi ko na-upload yung aking meetings last time. Surprising, no? Because I've uploaded it anyway. Na-upload ko yun. Maybe it must be in the different site, no? I must have been confused, no? Let me look that up. Baka doon sa ibang site ko nalagay. Baka dito ko nalagay. I'll check. No, wala talaga, no? Because I uploaded this separately during my other class, but my other class I have 10, 14, no? But why haven't I uploaded my two other classes? Okay, I missed out on that, no? Anyway, I'll upload them today, no? All meetings. So yung introduction to programming languages, you study that yourself. History of programming languages. When was the first programming language developed? In Fortran, no? Kasi third level programming language, no? Because in the past, no, people used to write programs in machine language or in assembly language. Okay. Now in 1957, in IBM, John Backus invented the first third level programming language. What is a third level programming language? A third level programming language is a language which has instructions coded into human readable forms. You don't say load, no? You don't say store, but you say x equals 2, no? You don't have to use memory addresses, but you have to use variables. Okay? So in the third level programming languages, instructions are in human readable forms, and we do away with addresses in memory. Diba? We say LDA 2000. We don't do that anymore. We'll just say x equals 2. Okay? By using variables. The first third level programming language came in 1957. Aside from that, no, a third level programming language uses decimal. Do you follow? No? In machine language, no, when we say load, we usually follow it with a binary number. Although in our previous examples, no, we use decimal numbers. But in the actual programming, no, in machine language, you use binary numbers. Now there's a go-between language called assembly language where you use machine codes. Okay, you use machine instructions, but use hexadecimal numbers because hexadecimal numbers are easily written, more easily written than binary numbers, and they come in groups like 4 digits or 4 bits can be written in one hexadecimal digits. Okay, so they're easily written. But however, in 1957, a new language was developed by John Backus. No? It was written for scientific calculations. No? It's called formula translation. So in short, it was called Fortran. It was first used in an IBM mainframe. It was also very popular then in the IBM PC. 1958, ALGOL was developed. No? Who developed ALGOL? Hindi sinabi, no? But it became the basis of the modern languages C++, Pascal, and Java, and JavaScript. Okay. In 1959, no? Also in IBM, they developed the first database programming language. Okay, it's called COBOL, used for manipulating databases, no? Particularly for business purposes. So it was called COBOL to stand for Common Business Oriented Language. I've used this myself. No? Nowadays, if you're a COBOL programmer, you could be very rich because COBOL is still in use nowadays. No? High-end computing, for example, in credit card, applications, no, airline reservations, no, and there are so few COBOL programmers that they are usually highly paid. Lisp is a language for artificial intelligence written by John McCarthy in MIT. I used to program this myself because I wrote a thesis on artificial intelligence. Haruyama is here. Okay. Now, it's an academic language, but it's very useful because it's an object-based language. Now, unlike in any programming language, you outline a procedure, step by step. You describe how it is going to be done, how things are going to be done. But in Lisp, you do not describe it how, but you describe what you need. You describe what your output will be. You describe the output, you do not describe how it's going to be created. So yeah, it's an object-based language, and the logic is very useful in SQL because SQL is also object. In 1964, BASIC was developed by John Kemeny and Thomas Kurtz. This was the first programming language developed and sold by Microsoft itself. Modified version by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. In 1970, Pascal was written by Nicholas Wirth. It became the basis of the later object-oriented programming languages like Ada and Smalltalk. Ada and Smalltalk came just about the same time. Pascal is still rather is very much popular today because of the platform Delphi. Okay. C was developed by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Labs. It's now called AT&T. Bell Labs is like the PLDT of the US. Some part of the US, no, in the western part, they call it AT&T. Those are New York, Chicago, no. These are where Bell Labs is operating. No? In California, there's a different telephone company. It's now called AT&T. So they developed in 1972 to be a third-level, high-level language. 1972, no, also SQL was developed, okay, for databases. Many others, no. And then 1983, the time I was in college, no, I learned C#, or rather C++ in 1988. No? My first touch with C# C++ is in 1988. It was developed in 1983 by Bjorn Stroustrup. Okay. Perl was a scripting language originally used for web development. No? It is the basis of the modern languages PHP, Ruby on Rails, and then there's also JavaScript, no, based on okay. Haskell, used for mathematics like MATLAB, and Python was developed in 1991. It became popular in the year 2000s. Visual Basic was developed in 1991 for visual programming in Windows. R, used for data mining, still used today. Very popular, in fact. No? Java was developed in Sun Microsystems in 1995. No? Java is like C++. Java and JavaScript are different. PHP was a scripting language developed by Rasmus Lerdorf, no? For personal homepage, for development of web pages, like Perl script. But because Perl script has many other usages, no? And PHP was developed by Lerdorf to be the language, a C# language. It's like a C++ like language, not to develop web pages. Ruby on Rails, no, developed in Japan. Okay. After Perl script, also for web development. Ruby on Rails, yes.
Excuse lang po, sir, si Mercader daw po, hindi po siya daw po makapasok sa...
Mercader. Wala, hindi ko siya makita sa Hindi ko siya makita sa waiting room.
Ay, actually, okay na. Kanina pa nakapasok, pero like...
kanina pa, okay.
I think for like 5 minutes lang. Okay.
Sige, I'll check the attendance again, okay? Sinong kapapasok lang? Si Mercader.
Actually po
And
sir, nag-wait ako since 1 p.m. Hindi pa ako nakapasok until like
who is that?
1:59 na.
Was it my fault? I
Ano
didn't see
po.
you in the waiting room, no? I'm sorry, no?
Okay po.
Did I see anyone? Anyway, this has been recorded just shortly, no? Bago lang ito na record, no? Did I miss anyone? Remoreras. It's the last, anyway, no?
Haruyama din sir present.
Haruyama.
Sir, I'm present as well. Jose, sir.
Sino?
Jose.
Jose, yes. Anyone else? Okay, so I'll check this again before we end, okay? So Ruby, 1995. JavaScript, our favorite language, was invented also in 1995. In just 10 days, no? JavaScript is now the most popular web client development platform, no, among web browsers, no? JavaScript is always part of any browser, even more popular than PHP and Java itself. No, JavaScript is not Java. No, it's a C++ like language. No, that is written for scripting purposes. No, scripting ito, so it means they are not compiled. Okay, they are run by browsers. The native languages of browsers is now officially JavaScript. Okay, so JavaScript compiles, or rather, browsers compile JavaScript. Okay, ang compiler natin dito, browsers. Okay, C# was developed in 2000. Okay, and many others. So I think that's enough, no? Let's go directly to ano. In order to do JavaScript, you need to have HTML. Okay, who invented HTML? Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, ang tagal na nito, no? What does HTML stand for? You can have that in ano, HTML in W3 schools. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Why is it a markup language? Because all commands are written in tags. So a tag is usually a pair, no? A begin tag and an end tag. A begin tag is usually this, no? And an end tag is usually the same with a slash, except the doc type HTML. For example, here we have HTML. This is the begin tag. The end tag is /HTML. Do you follow? That's why it's called a markup language. It's not a language that is compiled into an application. It's just a language that is used to refer one document to another. Okay? So basically, an HTML starts with a document. Okay? A document. You should have a home page document. No? All HTML should start with a home page document. No? The home page usually is named index.html. Okay? Do you follow? So when you do HTML, you write at the tag doc type HTML to indicate that what follows is a document type of HTML, because you can have XML, no, and many others. No? Browsers can also process XMLs. They can also process JSON. No? So marami. So the most popular though is HTML. After that, you start your document with HTML and you end it with \HTML. Okay, and then you usually have the body and end of the body. You will have a header, which is the page title. Okay, you can, in W3 schools, you can try this yourself like that. This is how it runs in an actual web page. Do you follow? But if you don't like it, if you want to test this actually, you can go to your W3 spaces, no? You can go to W3 spaces and log into your account. Okay, have you created this already? Everybody must create this, no? So you just go there and sign up, okay? Okay. So I think I'm logged in. Yes, I'm being logged in, no? And then in here, no, you'll have spaces. Okay, you can click the spaces. Actually, these are your spaces. Okay, you can click this, and this is how you should do this. Your your assignments. No, for example, ito may add two numbers 1, 3. The answer is 4. You can go back. No? Okay, they follow. However, you can edit your spaces by clicking this icon. What do you call this icon? Di man ni burger, di ba? This is not a burger icon because the burger is 3 levels of this. This is a setting icon or just a more icon. You can click this, no? And then show files. I have several files, no? And the first that is presented, you can delete whatever you want to delete. No, but I have my examples here. The first that is shown as your home page is your index.html. Okay. You can click this, no, to edit the HTML. Okay. And then we can post the example. Okay. This is the example I copied from W3 schools. So an example HTML which starts with doc type. There's a header, a title, okay, and an end title. Remember that these important tags. Now you have HTML, you have head, title, end title, head, end of head, no, end of the header, and you have a body. You have the end of the body. You have H1, and which is what is H1? H1 is a label tag indicating a label in a header size. No? P means paragraph tag, which means you can write a long paragraph. There's a paragraph here written by Haruyama. Nandito ba si Haruyama? Is Haruyama here? Yes, no? Diba? Haruyama?
Yes po, sir.
Diba? P-tag lang ito. Okay, isn't
Ay,
this
format lang, ay parang template lang po yan siya, sir. Tapos
yeah.
click ko lang po.
Look at this, no? These are P-tags, oh. Lorem ipsum, P. Diba? P with an NP. Okay? Basta yung mga mahahaba P-tags, I'm sure there are P-tags. There's another P-tag. Okay? This text, the text that you see here are P's, are tags, are paragraph tags. Okay? They follow? So this is a template from WSS template. Ayan, no? They follow? W3 CSS template. You can surely search that, no? I'm sure you can search that from W3 schools. W3 CSS templates. So, ang dami niya, no? Okay? Okay? Basic template, you have these templates, no? Architect template, no? Ang dami, no? Okay? You can explore on this, okay? Okay? You can try this yourself. This is the template. Right? Haruyama? Diba? Ganyan lang yan.
Yes po, sir.
Okay? So, you can try on this. I'm sure many of you will enjoy this because many of you have tried it already, even if you haven't started it. Okay? So anyway, let's keep things simple. No? Let me go to my space. So this is the basic HTML tag which I've then you click save. Okay, you can either go to preview or open a new tab and then go to your actual website. So bakit hindi pa na refresh? Let's refresh. Yes, no. You have to refresh. This is it. No. This is a heading. This is the paragraph. Where's the title? The title should appear in my dapat mag-appear yung title, no? Where the title appears or where the head. The browser. Wala siyang, hindi siya no? Doesn't show. It will not show, but anyway, you can purposely show it in your W3 spaces. Okay. Do you follow ito? Okay. Okay. Do you follow? So now we have a series of topics in our Dagler site. Okay. Title is yung tab name ata, sir. Tab name. Let's try that. Yes, it's in the tab. Wala dito. Bakit wala dito? Page title. Ayan, no? Page title. But let's view the, no? Yes, there it is, no? Page title. Right, this. We cannot edit it here, no? But we can edit it here. That's correct, no? It's in the, no? This is the page title. Okay, let's save this. Then we can go back to the same, and then refresh. So if you look at that, no? So this is the page title. Nag-iba na. Umiktin is here. Thank you for, your, I forgot where it is, and Casas informed me it's the tab name, and he's correct. Umiktin. Do you follow? So by next meeting, I'd like you to be able to write your own web page. You should have a profile separate, no? Kasi ang gagawin, separate profile and separate list for assignments. Okay? In fact, I have here a sample. You can use any template though, no? Ang dami namang template sa W3 schools, but I have a sample here for a simple drop-down menu. Hindi pa natin we cannot discuss the files yet, okay? You should have these files, no? Styles and scripts. Where is that again? I think it's in index 2. Okay. You can copy this. Okay. And then you can edit your main index file here. So I'll post this for the moment, no? So you can, if you want to use this, you can use this. Di pa ba na-save? Okay, ito. I'd like you to do this, no? Okay. You can have a profile and then your assignments. You can do it any way you like anyway, but this is just a suggestion. Okay, like this. Okay, do you follow? So this is first assignment, second assignment, third assignment. You can view the source. Okay, so ito yung ano, I have a file named numbers, add to numbers.html. And this is an ahref tag. An ahref tag is a link tab. No, this allows you to make a link from one page to another. Okay, do you follow? Do you follow? So there's also an image tag. Okay, you can make as beautiful as web page as you like, no? As long as you do not exceed 5 MB. Okay. Okay. But you can have a banner if you like, no? No? Okay. You can have it here. Any questions so far? Any questions? How do you create a file from here? Okay. There's a new file, no? Do you follow? Like this, no? I have. You can rename this. Sandali lang, no? No, I went to the wrong place. Show files. This one. You can rename this, no? They follow. Add to numbers. Version 1. .html. Kailangan na extension, no? You follow? Now, the file name .index.html is the home page. Okay? Do you follow? So, you're all familiar with browsing the web, right? Okay, so who does not know HTML anyway? Basic HTML?
Me, sir.
Okay, so now you know how to create the HTML, no? Do you follow? The basic parts of an HTML. You start with a doc type tag, you follow it with an HTML tag. Anyway, if you don't know where to go, you can go to our website. They follow in our regular site, creating a basic HTML. I have it here. Okay. Si Lee ba? Was it Lee or forgot Heidi me? Yes. So you can look at basic HTML. First, you have to create your site. Okay. Have you created your site already? Have you created your site already?
Not yet pa po.
So you create. Okay. You go to W3 spaces. It's easy, no? .com. You should have an email. You can use your other email, and then you click sign up. Okay. Okay. Can you just go through this process, and then when you sign up, of course, I've already signed up myself. That's why I have this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And then you click this so that you can get the files, and you should have a file named index.html. Okay. So here's the basic HTML, no? Anyway, ito yon. You start with a doc type HTML file, followed by an HTML tag. Now, the HTML tag should have a pair, HTML and tag. Do you follow? Hindi pwede, you can't have this, no, without the end HTML. And then the first example is a heading. A heading is a line of text. Okay, let us just change this. This is heading 1. So to show what are the differences in the different types of heading. And we'll copy this, okay? And put this in our index.html. Let us close this with the other things. Ito, no? Just edit this. Saan ko ito ilalagay? You can surely find this, no? This is just a drop-down example in W3 schools. Okay? Anyway, I'll put a link. So this is heading 1. Okay. So heading 1 has an H1 tag and an end H1 tag. And end H1 tag starts with the same greater than sign but followed by a slash. Okay? The slash indicates end. Hey, I'm sorry. Let's undo. Let's erase this. Kamali ako, no? I just have to copy this. Anyway, so it's easy to find out now because you have a body, you should have an end body. You have an HTML. So this is a duplication. We'll erase this. Okay. And then this is a duplication. Okay. They follow. So nothing serious. No? This is the first heading. I want to copy this. No? Control C. Control V. This is heading 1. Nagkamali ako ng copy, but anyway, this is heading 2. So being an H2, we will also have to terminate this as H2. Okay, and then we'll have H3. Just copy this. This is heading 3. This is the first paragraph. We can have a BR. What's a BR? A BR is a break to put you alive. Now, unlike other tags, it's only the BR tag which is not terminated. Do you follow? There's no termination for a BR tag. This is the second. I think paragraphs are always separated by BRs by default. Okay, so let's go about this now. We have a first line, which is the font is heading 1. H2, the font is heading 2. The third line, the font is heading 3. Now let's look at this. No? Look at that. No? Heading 1 is bigger than heading 2. Heading 2 is bigger than heading 3. The paragraph will have the smallest font. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Now let's go to W3 schools, no, and search for. Saan bang search ito? Search for drop down example. Okay. Okay. This is the example of, but you need files, no? Okay. So this is a drop down example. You can look this up from. We can look this up from W3 schools itself, no? We can copy this. Okay. We follow. And then we can edit our space. Okay. Instead of having drop down menus, we say my assignments. And we save. There's no problem with this, no? Disregard this for the moment. Okay, we'll discuss this in the future. Okay. And then we will go to this and then refresh. So these are now, no? Do you follow? This is now the example. Now I'd like to make this a link to my first assignment. Okay. For example, in my W3 space, my first assignment is add 2 numbers. Ito. Do you follow? Shall we say this is the first, this one, no? Add 2 numbers.html. Okay. So I'll just make this a link. Okay. So, where's my editor? I'll make a link to add 2 numbers.html. I'll edit this. Okay. So ito yun, no? Okay. href, dito natin ilagay, add 2 numbers.html. Assignment number 1. Add 2 numbers. Okay. You can have another here, no? For your whatever you'd like to do. Save. And then we preview. Okay. We'll remove this now. Bakit hindi? It's supposed to be a drop down example. So when you click this, you go to add 2 numbers. That's 5. Okay. Do you follow? I'm not sure why it's a drop down. No? This is a class, by the way, no? So this is not written. Where did we get this? UL class drop down menu. We should not change this, okay? Let's do this again na lang. Saan ba yun? We'll just copy this again, no? To make a long story short. Kasi it's difficult if you don't copy. It's a class anyway, so you don't change this. No? So this is a bottom class, the type button. That this is the example. No? My assignments. This right. That's why it did not drop down because I changed the class. No. So this is add two numbers .html. Then we have assignment number 1. Add two. Okay, let's save this and then preview. Okay, nag-drop down na siya. Add two numbers. The answer is 5. Now we'd like to have a back. Okay, back to the ano. So we'll edit. Okay. We'll edit this. We'll just have an ahref. I-close na lang natin. Let's save this, no? I'm just going to copy the ahref. Up to the A. Do you follow? That's because in my add two numbers, it's a little taxing. No? Add two numbers, I'll edit this. Script. I'll put a BR. Then I'll copy. Index.html essay home. Or you can say back to home. Save this. Okay, and then let's try to open our W3 spaces. Assignment number 1. Hindi nag-refresh. No? May back to home. So we now have a back to home. Okay, so that when you click this, you go back to home. Do you follow, everyone? So what are we using today? We are using basic HTML. We have doc type. We start with HTML. We end with HTML. Usually type them together. We start with body. We end with body. And then you can do a heading. You can do a paragraph. And then you can use images. Okay? Dito, no? Images. Okay. Examples. Ito, image source. We can download an image ourselves. Can we download this? Save us. Let me download this to my desktop. No, this is not an image. No? Let's look for any image in Alice. Oh, these are dark alleys. So okay, ito na lang. Save as, save image as. I hope it's not very large, no? I'll go to the desktop. Japan ba yan? I think it's Japan, Ali. No? Is that a Japanese, ano? Ali? It's not Korean. Okay. It's in the desktop. So now, if in my W3 spaces, okay. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. No? If I edit my files, I can upload that. No, anyway, I don't think I'm still in. No, I can upload a file from my desktop. What's the name? Japan Ali. You can test this yourself. No, it's very easy if you use W3 schools. You can do a lot already. No, in fact, it's Haruyama has done and slightly elaborate. No, where's that J? Let's. I hope this fits. Okay. Okay. And then in my href, here's an example. Okay. Alt, we don't have an alt, no? An alt is actually an alternate, but for the moment, we'll copy this. We'll put it in our no. This the div. Disregard the div is just a division. Okay. Umiktin. Okay, just keep on ano. It's just a division. What's the name of our file? An alt, I think, is a which we find that out. Save. I may have the wrong file name, no? But it's okay. It's there. Okay. Do you follow? You get my point? There are many ways to style this, no? But for the moment, we will not discuss styling. We'll discuss it in the future, no? Okay. You can size this, no? You can put a width and a height. Do you follow? Do you follow? Now let us start with JavaScript. Okay, any questions so far? So that's enough for the moment, no? We can do an HTML that will house a JavaScript. This is enough for us to do programming in JavaScript. Because what is required before you can write a program in JavaScript is an HTML. And an HTML is written inside, is embedded inside, rather a JavaScript is embedded inside as an HTML using script tags, no? You follow? Script tags. Let's have that, no? Anyway, it's in our, let me close. It's in our, in our site. Ito pala na-upload yung last time. Okay. paragraph tags, HTML input tags. Button tags, you read this, script tags. This is how you embed JavaScript. No? You start with a script tag, and inside is a JavaScript. Okay? Any questions so far? It's like asynchronous because the summative test is like asynchronous because it will be good for 2 days. Okay? The same test that we have before. Okay? Question from Ray Francis Casas. Is the summative test async? It's good for 2 days. It's like async. Sir, ano nang assignments ang ilagay sa websites? I'll show you the assignments to put in the website, okay? I-open ko na lang, no? What assignments do we put in the website? Sige, before we start JavaScript, I'll open the assignments. You read the slide on JavaScript, okay? Hindi ko na lang muna lagyan ng ano. So those who want to do this in advance, no, because you have done C++, so you could do this. Simple computations. This is the assignment. Simple computations in JavaScript. Okay, can we do this until end of October na lang? Or October? O, nag-open na siya. Lahat ng assignments. October, November 1, pwede ba? Lahat ng assignments na ilagay ko na lang November 1. It's a holiday. So, yeah. We'll have to close it a few days later because I'm going to submit your grades already, okay? Submit ko ito after the, ano. Basic computations. So those who want to do this in advance, you can do this now. Simple computations, no? Okay. Write a simple JavaScript that will ask input and convert into the following, no? Fahrenheit to Celsius. Isang page lang, ha? Just one page. One page lang ito, no? Okay. Fahrenheit to Celsius, Celsius to Fahrenheit, meters to feet, feet to meters. You will ask for a Fahrenheit, convert to Celsius. I think I have an example, okay? I'll show you the example later, no? Basta you ask for a Fahrenheit, convert to Celsius. Ask for Celsius, convert to Fahrenheit. Ask for meters, convert to feet. Ask for feet, convert to meters. That's assignment number 1, okay? Any questions? No? I'll show you examples anyway, no? Because I'm going to show you this add two numbers, no? And then I'll show you grade computation, JavaScript conditional statement, grade computation. And then your assignment will be income tax calculator. Let's show this already. You know what income tax is, no? Now, all working citizens, Filipino citizens, pay a part of their earnings to the government as income tax. Okay, by your parents. Most probably, even they're working or they're doing business, you'll have to pay income tax. So ito, you follow? If then else ito, no? This is an application and if then else, no? You ask for the yearly income amount of the taxpayer, no? And you compute for the income tax. If the income is not over than 250,000, okay, the income tax is 0. Do you follow? Do you follow? The taxable income is 180,000, but the income tax is 0. If it's 250 to 400,000, okay, do you follow? The excess, the taxable income is, okay, the income tax is 14,000 plus 20% of the excess. No. Tama ba? Yes, 250 plus 20% of the excess of 250,000. Okay? Do you follow? Do you follow? Ano, mali ito. No? I'm sorry. Disregard this, no? Basta 20% of the excess of 250,000. Okay? Do you follow? So if the income is between 250 to 400, you compute 20%. If the income is from 400 to 800, you have 30,000 plus 25% of the excess of the 400. I'll show you an example of this when we go to this. This is an if then else application. From 800 to 2 million, 130,000 plus 30% of excess of 800,000. From 2 million to 8 million, 490,000 plus 32% of the excess of 2 million. Okay? If then else ito, no? From 8 million, that's 2.410 million plus 35% of over. Okay, this is an income tax calculator program applying, no, if then else in C#, in C++. Any questions? No. Okay. Okay. Tagal pa tayo, no? Let's apply grade computation. I'm going to give you an example. Nth factorial. Now, you have done this before, right? So nth factorial sum and average, you're going to do this again also. Okay. You ask for a number. Compute the nth factorial using a while loop. The sum of the first n numbers using the while loop. The average of the first n numbers. These are like the analytical engine programs that you have written. But this time you are going to show them in JavaScript. Okay. So it's a good thing that we launched this now. So you can start working on them. So how many programs is that? You have simple programming, you have income tax calculator, and then you will have the n factorial sum and average. And the final program will be payroll program. So 4 programs. Payroll program using arrays. Ano? Using objects. Okay? Nandito pala, oh. Nasulat ko sa dulo. Okay? Do you follow? I must have to move it above. Okay? Simple payroll. So 4 programs, no? So okay na itong November 3 kasi mahaba itong ano eh. No, November 8 pa naman yung ating ano. Okay. I'll move the deadline if it's needed, okay? Simple payroll. Pinaka-last program. I have a solution to that, no? And then we'll show this. Okay. You have a study guide for the exam for HTML and JavaScript. I will show you a sample. This is already seen, okay? Shopping cart. It's already available. You can see it there. Now, how do we embed? As I've said, we do a script. Let's have an example, no? Of a simple, no? Let's do it here, no? So add two numbers, okay? This is add two numbers.html. So I have a body, I have a header to show the ano. Hindi ito maganda, no? Let me have another version 1, the original version, which I have in my file. Add two numbers. Is this the one? Version 1. No, version 1, okay? Let me copy this. I'm just using Notepad, no? Create a new file. Then rename this. It's version 1. Bakit dalawa na sila? I have to delete one of them. I'll have to delete this. Walang pangit dito, no? It goes out one, ano. Isa na lang na. Then I'll edit this. This is how I okay. I created I created a button called on click. Okay. And then when the button is clicked, it will call the JavaScript function click btn. Did you follow? And then how did the click btn work? I embedded it into a script. Okay. So there's a script and an end script. It can be done anywhere inside the body. Actually, anywhere inside, even outside the body. No? So this click btn. Let A equals blank, let B equals blank. X equals 0, Y equals 0. This is how we declare. In C#, we can say var A, var, whatever it is, no? Because you need to have an int. The alternate way is to say var A, B, Y. And then you do an assignment. Now, JavaScript is a typeless language, which means that you do not provide a type when you declare, but you assign it a value. The value assigned will also assign the type. Okay? So when you say prompt, prompt is the JavaScript command that will ask for a string, no, and it will store it to the variable A. This is the second prompt which will store it to the variable B. X is a parse int of A, which will convert A into an integer. Y is equal to is a parse int of B, which will convert B into an integer. And Z will be the sum of X and Y. No, X and Y pala, no? And then when you say document that right, document, which means a line will be written into our HTML document. Okay, after this, no? So it will write an H2, which states the string, the sum is, and the value Z. Okay, it's ended with an H2 and it will have a breakpoint. Do you follow? No? Let me save this and let's add this to version 1, no? So my ano. So I'll edit my main HTML, no? So add two numbers, version 1. Okay. Let's see how it works. Lapit na tayo, no? Wala pa tong home, no? So hindi nakita. Let's try to find out why. Okay. Add two numbers v1. Maybe let's look for the file. Kamali yung ating ano, no? It may be case sensitive. Capital A, capital B. Let's just copy it. Add two numbers v1.html. Okay. I think it's let's remove the image first. Save. Okay. This is the button compute sum. It asks for the first number, so we'll say 5. And then the second prompt, which asks for the second number, so we'll say 70. Okay, and this displays the sum is 75. Okay. Then a back will just send it back home. Anyway, we can do an href again, no? In our so that we can have a back home. Let's edit this. No, it's not this. We're about a few more minutes now. Let's just finish this quickly. Then we'll have in the body, we will have index.html. Okay, and then let's preview the octal spaces. There's already a back to home page. We can put a BR, no? No, mali. No. So after the sum, no? We'll put it after the sum, okay? There's something wrong with. May BR na siya dito, so we'll say document. That's right. Okay. We have to terminate with a semicolon. By the way, the last line is not required. Sobra ng isang semicolon. Ang isa. It's not there anymore. Okay. Do you follow? So back to home. Any questions so far? No, you can view this already as an example from my page. Okay. When you go here, you go to add numbers, and then you can view page. It's there, no? You get my point? Any questions so far? I'll upload our session, okay? Any questions? So you can start working on your assignments, no? As we go along. Okay. So, see you on Wednesday. You'll have to be, medyo mabilis na tayo ngayon, ano? You have to be fast because we are catching up with November 9. Okay? Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Okay, thank you and goodbye, no?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
sir.
Okay.